when you're gone for that long, and you've preached this a lot on the air, and I hope people are aware, you're not just going to jump right in and be, she's not going to be at the level she was in the ring when she left because you're gone for so long. Because you always says there's ring rust, and I'm sure there's going to be ring rust with AJ Lee. But what she showed on SmackDown Friday is that other side, that character. And, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, something, Bully, you've been preaching for a long time on this show. Like, come on, we know they're married. Everybody who's a wrestling fan and knows Seth Rollins and Becky know that they're married. Why not use it? And they're using it, and they're doing the same thing with CM Punk and AJ Lee. And as a fan, I got to tell you, I'm excited about it.
It's depth, and it's honest, and it's true. Seeing Seth on his own with the vision, yeah, I get it, but it's still, typical pro wrestling. Seeing Becky on her own in the women's division with fighting for championships, yes, I get it, still typical pro wrestling. But now and these are two of the biggest stars in the company, now we acknowledge the fact that they are together. Becky talking about her handsome husband, her great husband, or this, Seth referencing Becky. Let's bring them together, especially when you have the opportunity to have them in a feud with CM Punk and a returning AJ Lee. Punk, 2 years now returned to the WWE, megastar in the WWE. You heard the response for AJ Lee coming back to the WWE, welcome with open arms. And I don't believe that the reception that AJ Lee got in Chicago will be a one-off response or an anomaly. I believe she's going to get these responses and these pops in every town that she goes to. So lots of excitement. I am a lot more invested in CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I've always been a big fan of the mixed tag, the intergender tag team matches. And I think this will give us some good story. I do think that Seth, Punk, and Becky will have to go out of their way to put that first match together in a way that features AJ Lee's strengths and make sure she doesn't expose herself from the 10 years that she's been away.
So, Bully, let me ask you, because I mean, obviously from watching Friday, AJ Lee's in phenomenal shape. Maybe the best shape we've ever seen her on TV.
In shape doesn't mean in ring shape.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like that's going to take time. Like, I mean, I'm sure she's been training. I'm sure she's been getting ready for this moment. But when you're in the ring in front of 10, 15,000 fans, Bully, that's a completely different story, right?
You can go, let's say AJ Lee knew for, let's just say 3 months. I think that's a fair number. Let's say she knew she was coming back for 3 months. And the day she said, yes, I'll come back, is the day she got into a ring with Punk and started training, or with whoever and started training. Now, we haven't heard any whispers of AJ Lee in a wrestling ring, at least not that I know of. I did see one video online of her and Punk training in a ring. I don't know when that was from, but we haven't seen, I really haven't seen AJ in a ring. I know she wasn't down at the PC, or at least I don't think she was down at the PC. So even if she's been training for 3 months, okay, you're getting your chops back, you're getting your timing back, you're getting your wind back, you're getting your timing down. Now go do it in front of 20,000 people, live, without a net. It is a completely different feeling, okay? Once you're out there live and you have that gun to your head and you know that you can't make a mistake, it's a different world of professional wrestling. But like you said, she is in very good physical shape. She looked real good, abs kicking like Taekwondo. And yeah, so let's hope she can get it done in the ring.
And you just said something, Bully, that I think is worth repeating, that they're going to plan out a match that's going to play to her strengths. And Bully, if you think about it, who better to do that with than some of the best out there? CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins. I mean, you couldn't ask for three better wrestlers to be in the ring with than those three.
I asked Natty about this last week during her segment on Thursday, and she thinks that AJ Lee will be absolutely ready to go. Get in that ring all fired up and ready. I understand where she's coming from. I still do think that they're going to have to be very careful about how they put the match together, just so they can feature her. And that's just smart wrestling. If you know you have somebody that's been away for 10 years, or you know that you have somebody who's just coming back from an injury, or you have somebody that's just not as strong as an in-ring wrestler performer as the other three, this is called working together. This is where, okay, we're gonna, like, let's just say this is the easiest thing that they could possibly do, what I'm about to suggest. This is as 101 as pro wrestling gets. The only time AJ Lee gets in the ring is when she blows the comeback on Becky Lynch. That's just easy. You make the people want it even more. You build to it, you build to it, you build to it, and then you pay it off, and there's the hot tag. And AJ Lee comes in, and she's kicking ass, and you keep it really simple because the people are so excited to see her that it doesn't matter what she does as long as she's beating up Becky. She doesn't have to do Canadian destroyers. She doesn't have to do 450s. She doesn't have to do an acai moonsault. All she has to do is kick ass.
Yeah, I mean, what did she do on Friday night? You know, a bit of a spear, a bit of a Thez press, and some punches. Like, that's basically all she did. And look how hot that crowd was. I mean, you know, you did, like you always say, keep it simple. Like, you don't have to do craziness when you have the crowd in the palm of your hand, like AJ Lee did on Friday night, and have that emotional connection. A right hand to the face means more than any kind of moonsault or anything else.
When the best of the best of the best of blowing comebacks, the Dusty Rhodes of the world, the Robert Gibsons of the world, when these guys blew comebacks back in their day, it was fists flying first, because that's what people want to see. They want to see the heel get beat up. If you want to build to some moves, that's fine, because you're hitting wrestling moves to try to win a match, but beat the shit out of them first. And like you said, on SmackDown, Thez press, very simple. What other move did you say?
She did like a bit of a spear. She did.
The spear, like a baby spear. Yeah.
Yep.
It's simple stuff. It gets a reaction, not because of the move. It's not the move that's getting the reaction. It's the fact that AJ Lee just did it, and we want to see her kick Becky's ass so bad. The more hatred the heel has, the easier it is for the babyface.
And this is one of those scenarios, Bully, that dude, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you this morning, because we talked about Becky and Seth and kind of trying to fit a square into a round circle here, where it's like, man, Becky Lynch is so loved by the WWE universe. Seth Rollins is so loved by the WWE universe. They want to sing along to his song. They want to cheer Becky. They both did a great job, and a lot of it has to do with who they're going up against in AJ Lee and CM Punk. They were getting booed out of the building on Friday night. Like, that's what you want to see. See, that's where, like, we can have our discussions until we're blue in the face about baby faces and heels, and like, it doesn't matter anymore, and who cares? Let's cheer who we want to cheer, and let's boo who we want to boo. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Case in point, Friday night. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I mean but we hate Becky Lynch, and we hate Seth Rollins, and we love CM Punk, and we love AJ Lee. If everybody loves everyone, you don't get the kind of reaction that we did on Friday night.
This industry is about one thing and two aspects of one thing. It's about emotion. And those two aspects of the emotion are love and hate. That's it. That's pro wrestling at its core. And people love CM Punk and AJ Lee. And people hate Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. And when you get two opposite ends of the spectrum and they meet in the middle, you get what you got in Chicago.
And it's good storytelling. At the end of the day, it's just good storytelling. And I loved it. I loved what I saw. Like, listen, AJ Lee, was a big part of the WWE a decade ago. And listen, and she's been kept in the conversations a lot of the fact because of CM Punk. You couldn't think of a better scenario than the one that is set up right here. This is the best way to bring AJ Lee back into the fold in the WWE. And, probably AJ Lee would never have come back to pro wrestling, period, if it wasn't for this scenario right now with CM Punk. It's the perfect scenario for both of them. Also the perfect scenario, and I agree with you, Bully. I think you could have had that moment anywhere, and it would have gotten a great reaction. Not the same reaction like we got on Friday night in Chicago. They just know how to do it right.
Becky Lynch's facial responses to seeing AJ Lee. Complete shock. Becky was selling fear that she just saw AJ Lee. AJ Lee hasn't been around in 10 years. AJ Lee is 90 pounds, soaking wet, with a brick in a pocket and a feather on her head. She's an absolute tiny little woman, and Becky Lynch is the mother trucking man who is hanging, clanging, and banging with the best of them, having good matches as best as she's in it. She's on the front line. She's a grunt. She's a warrior. She fights every week. She is a well-oiled machine right now. And she sold fear on her face like, oh crap, I think I just bit off more than I can chew. Oh crap, this is the last woman I wanted to see right now. Oh crap, maybe I am going to get my ass kicked. That put it over the top for me. Dave, whenever we have The Miz on, and me and you have spoke to The Miz, I would say maybe half a dozen, 8, 9, 10 times over the past 9 years that me and you together. What do I always say to Miz? Do you remember? I always thank Miz for something. Do you remember what it was?
No. What?
I always thank Miz for the Royal Rumble in 2015 in Philadelphia. Because when Bubba Ray Dudley returned in Philadelphia, I was number 3 in the Rumble. I was the first surprise of the night. 3, 2, 1, the rockets go off, the explosions, the music plays, and Miz's face, his eyes are popping out of my head. I'm getting goosebumps right now. And I always thank Miz for that, because Miz selling Bubba's return made Bubba's return mean even more, because people are like, holy shit, look how scared Miz looks. But it meant more for AJ Lee. Because, yeah, Bubba's bigger than Miz. Bubba can kick Miz's ass. But Becky selling for AJ? Why would she be selling? She should be like, yeah, come on, you tiny little nothing. Come in the ring, and I'll make mincemeat out of you. Nope. I've been bitching and moaning about women in this business. Everybody wants to be the baddest bitch on the block. They all want to be so tough. They all want to seem like nothing bothers them, nothing gets to them. They roll their eyes, they flip their hair, they walk away. Nobody's selling nobody these days. Becky sold for AJ. And I'm not talking about physically in the ring. I mean with her eyes and her face, and I absolutely loved it.
It was a fantastic job, and you're so right, because that's going to be, whenever they show that return, you're going to see Becky Lynch's face and that shock of AJ Lee returning. And you also mentioned something, and it's true. AJ Lee is small. Like you said, 90 pounds soaking wet. But what did they sell about AJ Lee? They didn't talk about her wrestling ability or how big she is or how she can... that she's crazy. They're like, she's crazy. And what did AJ Lee sell? That she's crazy. Those looks, the tilt of her head. Like, you're like, holy shit. Like, the one person you don't want to see in a dark alley, Bully, is somebody who is nuts and somebody who's crazy. Because they're unpredictable. You don't know how to fight somebody like that.
You know you can kick the crazy guy or the crazy girl's ass, but you also know that you're going to have to kill him to keep him down. because they're just going to keep coming back up and keep coming for you because they're crazy. They don't know when enough is enough. And that's AJ Lee.
Yeah, and I thought Graves and Michael Cole did a phenomenal job of selling that because, again, you have to sell that. Yes, all the people in that arena knew that AJ was going to come back. A lot of them bought a ticket to see the return of AJ Lee. But you have to know that there's an audience out there that maybe started tuning into the WWE product 5 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, Bully, that doesn't know anything about AJ Lee. What does a great commentator do? Tell you the story and sell the story. That's exactly what Graves and Michael Cole did. Go back and watch that segment again, because I did. And they tell you the story of AJ Lee and that 4 or 5 minutes that AJ Lee was in the ring on Friday night. That's what good commentators do. And I think Michael Cole showed why he's one of the best ever. And I think also Corey Graves showed why he's so damn good as well. They did a great job of not only selling the story, selling the character of AJ Lee, but telling her story as well.
And it's crazy that we're sitting here and we're talking about how great the announcers did, or how beautiful the simplicity of the segment was, or Becky selling with her face. This is all Pro Wrestling 101. This is the way it should be done. That segment that we watched with AJ Lee, it was simple. It was easy. We've seen this done back in the day hundreds of times. But we've gotten away from simplicity in wrestling so much. However, I do believe that Hunter has really turned into, or has leaned on, 101 a lot. And you'll hear me use that term a lot more moving forward with the WWE, because the WWE right now is very 101. It's very basic, and it's working. And it kind of tells a veteran like me everything that I need to know and that I've been preaching forever, and every veteran does, that there's a way to do this that really, really works. Not that alternative ways of doing wrestling won't work or don't work, but if you truly want to be a major company, a major player with major stars that use the entire planet as their playing field, that 101 stuff will never die. It's the good guys versus the bad guys, and that's all pro wrestling has ever been about, love and hate.
And also, Bully, making a big moment seem even bigger. Like, that's what you want to do. Like, you're only going to get one shot of AJ Lee returning. It's only going to happen once. So you got to make sure that when it does happen, it's not only significant, but it's mind-blowing. It's going to get people talking. It's going to get people on their feet cheering. That's why you got to make sure, like I said, like being in Chicago, you got to make sure everything is perfect. The perfect time on the show, the perfect atmosphere in the perfect arena, in the right city, in the perfect scenario.
We also got Seth Rollins. What was he in, like a luxury box or something? Seth was,
yes.
He was in a box or something like that. So now we got to see all four players. We get to see all four faces. Even Seth sold shock. The way Seth's face was, he was like, oh my God, my wife is about to get her ass kicked. Even he knew it. That all lends credibility to the return and the crazy factor of AJ Lee. Now, here's what another part of the beauty of the segment. We saw all four players. We know we saw AJ Lee, we saw CM Punk, we saw Seth Rollins, we saw Becky Lynch. Now, what's the next step? All four of them face to face in a ring with 4 live microphones in their hands. Holy shit. After SmackDown, how much do you want to see that? And how many people are going to tune in to see that one?
Probably more than the physicality itself.
The physicality doesn't matter.
But that scenario of them all in the ring together with a live microphone, like, yes, I want to see that. That's the progression of the story.
There is a personal issue there where if they felt that they could use that to really add more fuel to the fire, they could.
Well, what they did, Bully, what they did is they took a feud that maybe some fans were like, yawning a little bit about, when that is Seth Rollins and CM Punk, where I think they took that as far as they could go. Well, now they are able to restart that again with completely different circumstances and a completely different environment. And why not? There's a lot of history there. And I think it shows now, like, use this. 2 married couples in the world of pro wrestling. I mean, this is a scenario that we don't get to see every day. It's very special and it's very unique. So why would you not take advantage of it? And I think that's something that you show, Bully, like the frustration of, like, you have it there. You have the players, a real life situation. Use it. And they're using it. And they're using it to their advantage. I'm excited about it. And they had no problems talking about it. And they had why hide it? Everybody knows about it. I love it. I love where they're going with this story.